If you've gone through the process of actually having to buy or lease a car at some point, you might have come out of it shocked to find out exactly what expenses and costs are associated with the transaction. And in some cases, the real costs associated with leasing only become clear once you're going to sign the paperwork. Lease agreements can be filled with terms and conditions that quietly add up and might only be noticeable to those who are actually counting their dollars and cents. Some of the expenses that are often overlooked are the mileage limits and the charges that come along with going over, in addition to the wear and tear charges that can add up over time. You might find yourself excited at the thought of leasing a new vehicle, only to find out that every mile over the limit could cost you somewhere between 10 to 50 cents. On the flip side, unused miles don't get you any money back, which could lead to underestimating what your actual driving use is and put you in a pretty precarious position. Potentially more shocking is the thought of wear and tear costs, which could end up being another surprise expense. When you return your leased vehicle, typically the dealer will inspect it for anything beyond normal wear and tear. This can include things like scratches, dents, stained seats, or even worn out tires. Things that might seem like minor issues to you could end up costing over hundreds, if not thousands of dollars in repairs. You could even find that your dealer hits you with a disposition fee at lease end, often a few $100s, just to simply clean and prepare the car for resale. Another important factor to consider here is ownership, or in this case, a lack of it. A lease is simply essentially renting out a car between 2 to 4 years where you have nothing at the end of that term. When you reach the end of the term, you return the car, you've built no equity, and you have no asset left over. With regards to lease payments, this takes into account things like depreciation, or how much value the car loses over the term of the lease, in addition to potential dealer charges and profits on top. Unfortunately, typically new cars face the fastest decline as far as depreciation is concerned. So if you continue to lease brand new cars over time, you could end up finding yourself in a rut. And while you may be aware of all of these caveats, something that I see that is often less discussed is the fact that flexibility can be limited during this time. Whether it be your financial situation changing or simply needing to get into another car, ending a lease early can be an extremely expensive situation. Early termination fees can end up being thousands, if not the entire balance remaining on the lease. And while you might be watching, thinking that this can never happen to you, the fact of the matter is, the lack of flexibility could present a problem if faced with something like medical issues or a changing lifestyle. And beyond the financial aspects, there's an emotional component to consider as well. Lease payments are a recurring obligation, where each payment you make goes towards something that you don't actually own. For those of you who prefer more predictability and control, this situation can end up feeling very burdensome, especially for those who crave stability.